Fight 2026, hopefully. Vegas. Sin City.
Hell yeah.
I'll see what happens.
You a footy fan? I know you record it, but are you a footy fan?
Go
When they have the Vegas games. You don't pay for this, right? State?
112 goals scored between the two, 85 points combined in the 2024 season. The very fabric of these teams consists of kids who grew up in the Blacktown area, who stood out when others could barely stand on 2 feet, developed through the age groups, most of them playing up a year or 2 or even 3. Boys who quickly became men, men who would go on to achieve great things in their respective footballing careers. Champion of Champions winners, check. African Cup winners, check. Accolades upon accolades, lasting memories only bettered by one's next prodigious triumph. Everyone about to grace the pitch tonight has a most remarkable sporting story to tell, how they got here, why they're here. Each decorated and respected members of our ever-growing yet homely community. There's something about today that feels different. It feels bigger. It feels larger than life, larger than just another game. Take all the achievements and medals and trophies these entities have already won, and I promise you wholeheartedly that these two squads are more hungry, more desperate to win this game today than just about any other game in their careers. That is especially the case for 4-time grand final winners Doonside Hawks. That's 4-time winners in the last 9 years alone, thank you very much. For 43 years, Doonside Hawks have been perched in their nest right at the very top, the upper echelon of Blacktown's most successful clubs at this level of football. They come here today as the statistical underdog. They have not won a minor premiership since the age of the old guard during the 2015, 16, 17 three-peat grand final era. It's only been a stone's throw since their actual last grand final win, though, but in the words of a man whose surname has spent 3 generations in Doonside Marayong, the minor premiership is something that's eluded this squad. This squad. Well, where do we start with this squad? On the 18th of May 2024, they were beaten 3-2, funnily enough, by their opposition today. But while that might seem like a close scoreline, it was 85 minutes of backs against the wall stuff, and they were fortunate, Doonside, to find 2 late consolation goals. Since that day, 8 wins, 2 draws, 0 losses. A switch was flicked after that defeat, and their infamous burning desire was unearthed. They come here today with a chance at winning their first league title since 2017. The only thing standing in their way is possibly the only team that in the last 10 years holds a candle to Doonside's accolades. Some may argue too that what this Marayong team has achieved in the same time period is even more impressive. Less championships, but more premierships, a Cottam Cup, club championships, and they've done it with the same core group under the same coaches. It's not about claiming firsts for Marayong today, it's actually about surmounting tasks that haven't been achieved yet, writing their name next to their name in the history books. 2 minor premierships have already been clinched this week. Today would be the third and most important, of course. And if they were to win, they'd repeat the hat-trick feat from last year. They did it in 2023. Will the Marayong machine roll on in 2024 and claim 3 21s, reserve and first grade minor premierships? There's only one way to find out, ladies and gentlemen. Let me put it to you simply right now. There's 3 points separating Doonside from Marayong. All the green and black need to do is not lose today, and they'll again be premiers and steal an easier route to the rescheduled Grand Final series. A win will secure Doonside their first minor premiership in 7 years. None of the players in this squad were part of the unit of players that achieved it some 7 years ago. But due to the closest in goal difference, Doonside don't need to worry about any sort of winning margin. They just simply need to win. A draw will hand it to the Yong, of course, who are 3 points above them right now. My name is Mark DePoli, jumping out of my seat, or should I say my scissor lift, in anticipation for what's to come here tonight. It's Doonside Hawks at their nest, taking on their eternal rivals, Marayong Football Club. And the winner will decide the 2024 Blacktown Premier League Minor Premiership. Your referee today, out in the centre, Kane Finlay, Kalen Thompson and Zane DeBrinket are on the sidelines, the latter two. You have to go all the way back until 2022 before Doonside went on to win the grand final, not as minor premiers, of course, as runners-up in the league campaign when they won 2-0 over Ponds in the final. But here at this very venue, they won against Marayong in round 18, the last round of the season. They beat them 2-1. They went 2 goals up. One of those goals, of course, was scored by a man you might know by the name of Ethan Aiken. Kelvin Ofori also got his name on the score sheet with a consolation goal, it turned out to be, in the 92nd minute via the set piece. Now, we're going to run through the lineups of these two teams because the two teams are here to are about to run out. They are to the left of the screen, of which right now is blank, but I'm hoping you'll be able to see in just a moment's time. We'll also have a minute's silence, which I'll explain in a bit more detail when we do get to that point. But I think we should start to go through the lineups. The Marayong lineup, I cannot confirm to you just yet. A lot of rotation. It's very much the Marayong way. They like to keep you on the edge of your seat, and mine too. But what I can confirm to you is the Doonside 11. So should we start there? I think we should. Home of the Hawks. In goal is Matt Dudgeon, actually technically making his match of the round debut. He's battled back through a total shoulder reconstruction, a dislocated other shoulder last season. He claimed his spot, the 23-year-old, as the first grade keeper after Doonside's last loss, and since he's been the first grade choice goalkeeper, they haven't lost a game since. Matt Dudgeon, welcome to the match of the round. It's a familiar back four of Jordan Hannon, the former Nepean NPL youth captain, of course. Jake Taylor, Jaden Zwerab into his 19th year as a Maroon man himself. Another one formerly of prospect in Nepean to Liam Howarth, All-Star representative left back in the 2023 edition of the All-Stars match versus Spartans. Returns to the match of the round after missing last time in the number 5 at left back. Still just 22 years old. Now, a couple of late changes, and I'll go through it. It seems to be a 4-4-2 of sorts, which is a very rare formation, especially at the upper ends of the table in the Premier League 1, but I love to see a bit of change. So, as a right mid of sorts, Ethan Neves, who of course was formerly playing at Endeavour United down in the Victorian NPL system, has got 1 goal to his name versus Prospect this year. He'll be starting in his first year at the club in this most important of games while wearing maroon on the right-hand side of the midfield 4. He's next to Daniel Alessi, of course, returned this year, has been fantastic, and next to Nick Couchy, formerly of both Kellyville United and Colts, and of course came to the Blacktown route via Riverston Schofields. On the left is actually Kyle Dominici, his brother, unfortunately injured today, but I'm expecting him to be back next week. It's a strike partnership, not of Marcus Correa and Maury Konate. It's in fact going to be Ethan Eichen back from 6 weeks in Europe, back into the starting lineup after getting 45 minutes in midweek up against Quakers Hill Tigers in a 1-0 win. Maury Konate, who didn't score until very late into the season, now in just 11 starts, has picked up 9 goals to his name. He has been a revelation of sorts. Now, I can give you a guess at what the Marayong lineup is based upon what I'm seeing, so let's go through it now. Dean Kenny Rogers, of course, starts in goal. A back four of Josh Ross, Wal Reese, Aro Gal. I had the pleasure of watching for the first time in front of my own eyes, and I think it's going to be Aaron White who plays at left back, but I'll confirm to you the moment I do know it. Should be a midfield three that consists of course, Patrick Holoka, Majid Eslami, and Kelvin Afori, which is about the most frightening 3 names in the competition. There's a circa 30 goals in those 3 surnames there, and you can be excited to know that they'll definitely be on scoring form tonight if history tells us anything. Kelvin Afori loves a goal against these guys. Now, I'm just going to interrupt myself because we are going to observe the minute silence. Marayong and Doonside will shake hands first, and then they will go across and observe the minute silence. We are, in fact, remembering and honouring the Pickett family. Jan Pickett, who passed away, former life member, or current life member, former member of the club. And so in a moment's time, we will observe that minute of silence, and I ask you all to join in remembrance. The front three, I should mention to you as well, will consist of Michael Cody, who scored over 40 goal contributions last year in the 21s, has picked up 8 goals in first grade this year, 22-year-old revelation himself. It will also consist of Mervyn Chakal and Rivaldo. Need I say more? The 2 captains, Jaden Zwereb and Mervyn Chakal, which is a delight to see Mervyn starting, by the way, after so many issues in relation to MCL and knee injuries and fitness concerns and the amount of work that he does in his 9 to 5, I guess you could say, although he's more of a 4:30 in the morning to 9 o'clock at night kind of guy. One of the hardest workers out there, one of the best guys in the comp, if not the, along with Jaden Zwereb, who quite literally bleeds the colours of this club, as 3 generations of Zwerebs have. Shaking the hands of the referee. It looks like we're going to switch over. Doonside will run left to right across your screen. Marayong will go right to left. Looks like as well Ryan Baller Colborne is going to drop into the base of the midfield. So I'm not quite sure exactly who's moved into left back. Not quite sure what Aaron White's place is. If he is out there, he is. I've got a feeling you might see Aro Gar pushed to right back. Wal Reese and Ryan Colborne as the centre backs. We'll see in time. Don't worry, I've commentated these 2 teams enough to keep you pretty informed the second they jump into formation. We're going to observe that minute silence now in honour of Jan Pickett. If you'll please observe it with us, we'll be back in just a moment. Thank you to Jan Pickett for the years of service to Doonside Hawks. An absolutely lovely Facebook post went up in recent hours in her honour. I encourage you all to read it if you have some time after the match of the round. And so now it's time for a final huddle. Both sets of boys will get some warmth back into their legs after that stagnant minute or so there. A reminder, if you're just tuning in for the first time, this is to quite literally decide who wins the minor premiership. If it is a draw, it will go the way of Marayong, the league leaders, of which they have been for pretty much the entire duration of the competition. In fact, considering that they scored a +4 goal difference from their first game in a 6-2 win over Ropes, they have been top from the very start. Are Doonside going to knock them off their perch in the final twilight hours of the season. They're going to have to do it without their Golden Boot contender Marcus Correa, which, by the way, as the night goes on, I have some news for you about the Golden Boot. So stay tuned for that, because there has been potentially a little bit of a change out at Quakers Park. But you'll have to stick around if you want some more news on that. And once it becomes official, I'll get it through to you. Yes, so Josh Ross off to right back. No, Josh Ross in through the middle. Aaron White off to right back. Arrow Gar through the middle. Here is your potential player of the year for a second year running. Kelvin Ofori on the ball there. Rossi sends that forward. Both these two teams have to recover from Wednesday night games, both of which they won. They both did their jobs heading into this one, which means that we are blessed with the fact that whoever wins tonight wins the minor premiership. Thank you so much for joining us here. Let's ramp it to some action as Aaron White sends that forward, capable in any defensive-minded position, but loves a goal going forward too. Ryan Colborne will be the first time all season he started 2 games back-to-back like this in the same week, touching on the age of 35 now. Absolute testament to the quality that he looks after himself to be able to still keep doing this. Such a wonderful mix of ages that Marayong have in their squad. For example, Arrow here has just turned 23 a couple of days ago, actually. Happy birthday to him. That ball sounds flat as it bounces here, by the way. It's a first touch down this near side here for Jordan Hannon. Maury Konate was pushed slightly. There might have been a handball there, and in fact, it's going to go the way of Doonside, who have the early advantage here. I can see some of the Pons boys and some of the BDSFA board members who are tuning in and driving into this great complex here. The car park is packed and stacked. I would suggest you don't park behind the right-hand side goal if you're yet to make your way to the ground yet, by the way. So in the wall stands captain and vice-captain Mervyn Chakal and Kelvin Ofori, respectively, in that order. Jordan Hannon actually scored his first goal of the season in midweek against Quakers Hill Tigers. The only goal, of course, the winning goal in the game from a 20-yard out odd free kick. So I'm not sure if Dean Kenny Rogers knows much about that, but he's going to have to be sharp for this one. But if anyone's going to be sharp to a free kick, it's going to be Dean Rogers, who knows all about the spring and the step. He leaves it for the left footer. Liam Howarth goes over the wall, but he never really had the power or the guile to get past a man with paws as big as Dean Kenny Rogers. And he's going to send this away into the nighttime sky. Up that goes into the air off Chakal, who was being closed down by Hannon. There's another call for handball this time against Doonside. It wasn't going to be given. Colborne steps in, but it's been taken off him. Konate was thinking about it. Whitey stepped in and sent it forward, and now Captain Zuero was the one who puts it up in the sky. It's very ping-pong at the moment. The Olympics will be on in a couple of hours. Don't switch to that yet. Long shot taken. Pot shot from distance. Over it goes. A fast start. A cagey start. Not the greatest quality shown just yet, but let these two teams warm back into it. So here's a first look at Matt Dudgeon in between the match of the round sticks, who, if you missed the little intro that I gave, came into the team in first grade after their 3-2 loss to Marayong. That's Doonside I'm talking about, and has been undefeated in 10 games since, and that includes 8 wins and a bunch of clean sheets along to go with that too. But of course, featured on our podcast at the start of the year and talked about all the work he's done to get back to full fitness. He's an absolutely towering figure, and happy to say that you love to see kids get the opportunity to play in first grade level, and he's taken his opportunity and he's grasped it with both hands. After all that, it's a goal kick down the other end now, which two-time All-Star representative Dean Rogers will take and send away with absolute oomph behind that one. Holocka was the one trying to rise highest for that one. Colborne gets his head to it just shy of the halfway line, so does Kelvin Ofori. Patrick Holocka has got a bunch of goals to his name, including one which technically was the winner against Workers in midweek. Mervyn Chakal went for that hard, but so did Matt Dudgeon, who I think honestly would be in all-star contention had he played all of his games in first grade this year. But he's had to bide his time, and I think next year will be potentially his time to shine. Aro Gar wins that out of the sky. He's only actually made a handful of starts. He hasn't played all games. This is his 9th start as a BDSFA Premier League representative. He's spent plenty of time in the NPL world plying his trade, but wanted to join this fantastic and so fruitful Marayong community. Jordan Hannon has a really long throw in his possession, and Maury Konate was brave enough to get his forehead to it. He sent it over and wide, though. No threatening chances at either end or for either team just yet. And it's Doonside who have had, I guess, the most territory so far. Marayong get to really put their foot on the ball just yet. Still very early doors here at Glendenning Reserve, of which, of course, is the most recent home of the most recent Champion of Champions Premier League winner. It was, of course, the 21s team from Polonia back in 2015, nearing on 10 years ago now. That included some players out there tonight, including that of Ethan Neves. A sliding in challenge has missed that of Rivaldo. He's able to stay on his feet. Jaden Zwerb is someone who knows him very well. But yes, that 2015 Champion of Champions team was then beaten by that of the 2017 Doonside team. Of course, a lot of those players have either moved into over 35s or are about to, and have moved on to Pons as well. The only real remaining member of that team was an, at the time, very, very young 21-year-old Tony Gallieni, unfortunately injured tonight, done his hamstring 3 times, 2 on one side, 1 on the other. I know he's here watching along somewhere in full support of the Hawks Nation. Kelvin Afori looking to add a 14th assist to the tally from the set piece. Ball in towards the front post! It's found its way in! I think it's Mervyn Chakal, the captain, who got the most pivotal touch of the season so far, and Doonside have been caught out at the near post. It's a goal they will never want to watch back. That should have been cleared at the first time of asking. Merv picks up his 7th of the season in a campaign where he's only made 4 first-grade starts off the back of a 90th minute 3rd goal against Workers in midweek. Mervyn Chakal has just put his name potentially on the minor premiership trophy in 2024. What a massive goal that is. And so typical of his positional excellence. And he finds himself on the score sheet once again. He was one of their first goal scorers of the season all the way back in round 1 against Ropes. And now here finally in the rescheduled delayed round 14, which is technically our round 18, if you like. He's found himself on the score sheet again. And the 2018 BDSFA Premier League Player of the Year again comes up with a moment. He's just made a great case for himself to start as the finals go on too. Eslami, who played 85 minutes against Blacktown Workers in what was a highly physical game for reasons of battling for the ball and in terms of the kilometres he would have racked up. But I've been told, and I'm observing in front of my eyes as the year and the campaign goes on, that none look after themselves better than Majid and his 10 goals, Eslami. Of course, he picked up 1 against Doonside. Of course, Kelvin Afori picked up 1 against Doonside. He actually picked up 2, did Majid Eslami. Kelvin Afori got the 1, but now he's got an assist to add to it. He just loves a match of the round goal contribution. He just loves a goal against Doonside. And so typical of the king to put in a corner that causes dismay like that. Can Doonside respond now? Maury Konate a little bit further wide from goal than I probably think he wants to be. The question I think that everyone will be asking is, what are they going to do without their 22-goal striker, Marcus Correa, whose ankle is absolutely pony right now? Well, what they've done is they brought back in Ethan Eichen, who's got 9 goals to his name in just the 8 starts, who swivels and shoots, and almost on cue, he found an instant response, but not to be, because his all-star compatriot, Kenny Rogers, was in net to make a relatively comfortable save, but it was sharp nonetheless. He sent that so far down the field. That's a bit of a audacious attempt at a clearance. It's gone out for a throw, says Kalen Thompson on that far side. Oh, I did not expect that first goal to come so quick, nor so easily. Rivaldo playing as a right wing this year. That's gone high and wide, and it bounced out before it came in field. Well, you really need to watch that back and see where the mistake was made. Uncharacteristic of a team so well known for dealing with set piece as well, because they haven't necessarily got such great height compared to other teams competing at the top, Doonside, but it's come to their unfortunately their lack of focus came to their undoing with that goal. Ryan Colborne. Arrow goes all the way back to his goalkeeper. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the starting 11 of Marayong who are on the twilight side of 30. And let's see if that experience will help them prevail tonight. So far it has. And now, Doonside not only, by the way, need to equalise, but they also need to find a winner. So right now, you can think of it as an old aggregate Champions League scoreline. They need to score 2 if they want to go through and do what needs to be done here. A draw is not good enough. Majid Eslami trying to find his captain. That's gone in really hard by Chakal on Jake Taylor. Chakal says sorry straight away. He's got quite good rapport with all the players and referees out there, but that was quite late, and that's going to really hurt Jake Taylor. He's only got one yellow card in his last 30 Premier League games, Mervyn Chakal. And he's going to escape one there. He's quite lucky. Hopefully Jake Taylor's okay. He's a real tough cookie, though. I'm sure he'll be all right. Cheers, Jeff. And sent away by Dudgeon. High into the night sky again towards Icon, but it's Aro Gar who wins that. Then it's Daniel Alessi to find Nick Cauchi. The 2 8s combining there. Carl Dominici's come central to then send this out wide towards Ethan Neves, but it was a miscommunication and a poor pass by, of all people, Carl Dominici, who, speaking of Player of the Year votes, by the way, is right up there too. And another 3-point haul today, as voted by Marayong officials, of course, would do very healthily for his end-of-season tally too. Aaron White playing as a makeshift right back, but a very capable one. Sends that forward from the throw. Kevin Guerrero, his coach, out of his technical area, gives him the ball. That's gone even further this time. One in the air by Jake Taylor, who's brushed off any concerns to the ankle, which is good. Colborne gives it away. That's happened a couple of times. Uncharacteristic of him, too. Maury Konate is so good with his back to goal. Look at the work he's doing here. Hustles and bustles and wins a free kick, does the 34-year-old. He plays it square and short. It's come here to Ethan Icon, but it was always going over. But a pot shot from Icon is always dangerous, and you always got to be wary. Absolutely phenomenal turnout on all sides of the pitch. There are the old Marayong teams of about a generation or 2 generations ago perched behind Dean Kenny Rogers' goal right now. There are some more recent players like the likes of Nick Haramis, the grand final winning assist provider, of course, who's off slightly more right behind the corner flag. There are Doonside generations from near, far, wherever you are, watching underneath us in the Hawks Nation with that lovely, lovely roof that they had inserted a couple of years ago. Enjoying the fresh sausage sizzle tonight. The turnout is wonderful for these eternal rivals. Always hard fought. Always, always fair. Chakal competing with Jordan Hannon. It's Chakal's turn to go down. This time he wins a free kick himself. No, it's actually going to be Doonside's. And Chakal infringed twice in the space of 5 minutes. Won't want to do too many more. And Jaden's Werb sends that away. Now, of course, I'll mention it again. Doonside do need to score 2 goals tonight and not concede anymore if they want to win the minor premiership. Pot shot from distance. It's going down, but it's not going to drop fast enough. Well, I can reveal to you that my personal prediction was that this game would be decided late. Well, we're in for some drama if there is to be late drama here. Now, I've just seen even more members of the Ponds turn up, which means I'm going to finally reveal something to you. I've been told that the game between Ponds and Quakers Hill Juniors that went from 4 p.m. to 5:30 odd saw Fardod Sanjakani pick up 8 goals, which has put him on top of the Golden Boots. Now, unfortunately, with Marcus Correa not here tonight, that means he cannot extend on his 22 goals for the season. So Fardod's gone 8 plus 8 up to 18 plus 8 up to the rather large tally that he's on now. Are you quick with the maths? He's gone far ahead of 22. That ball's gone in towards the middle of the goal, and it's headed towards goal, and it's gone over, and that's the most threatening chance that has been created by that of Doonside. Now, I'm yet to receive 100% confirmation. I still feel like an 8-goal tally for the Golden Boot in the final game of the season seems a bit out of the pan. But if you can believe what I'm telling you, and you'd like to buy into it, 26 goals by Faraz Sanjakani will win him the Golden Boot, and he'll have a nice little seat at the end of season presentation thanks to his wonderful efforts in front of goal this year, and particularly in a game against Quakers Juniors. Back to the action in front of us now. Maury Konate again with his back to goal. It's come here to the king, Kelvin Afori, tried to pierce that through, but keen to it was Liam Howarth, all-star left back, one of the contenders for the player of the match in that game too. Here is Jordan Hannon, who's no slouch. Lovely touch there by Nick Couch. He looks like he's occupying that sort of right-hand side space. It looks like Kyle Dominici's come into the middle alongside his good mate in Daniel Alessi. Those two similar positions, totally different styles of players though, and they complement each other so well. Haloka got the final touch out of the sky, but it was one that gave the ball away. Zwerb sent that wide to the far side of the pitch. Closing down is Aaron White, and it's put a bit of pressure on Liam Howarth. He has never been booked as a BDSFA Association player, by the way. That ball's been sent away by Dudgeon with a lovely little clip. He's going to test Jordan Hannon a little bit. Arms were raised by Marayong, but they won't need to worry about it now because the first bounce was out. Back in play we are. Zwerb sends that away. He's actually made more appearances than 18 for the 18 rounds because he's played in a bunch of reserve grade games as well. That's the level of fitness and energy that the road runner from Doonside has. Arrow Gar won't have an easier interception all night. Majid Eslami had his touch tested and unfortunately failed, but he was always going to. It was pulvered into his midsection. Dominici up against Ofori. Rivaldo steps in, then leaves it for the 2020 African Cup winner with Ghana. Liam Howarth only missed. There's a big tackle in there. That seemed a little unnecessary, and Howarth has gone down clutching his back, and Majid Eslami really put one in there. The angle I had and you had as well was rather quite compromised there, but Howarth went down straight away, clutching at his sort of L4, L5 area, and hopefully he's okay because you don't want that to be barged into directly. Yeah, he stayed down. He's in a world of hurt right now. The only thing we can hope for the 22-year-old is that he's okay to continue on because he's so pivotal to the way the Doonside attack down that far side flank. And it's an honour when the far side switches over at halftime and it becomes on the near side and we can watch him up close and personal. Now he's stayed down and he's just trying to see what movement he's capable of without too much pain. He's actually almost too brave for his own good sometimes, Liam Howarth. He is hobbling rather concerningly. He's going to sit on the halfway line while this set piece is delivered in and hope that the next 30 seconds or so might yield a goal kick where he'll get some extra time to relax. In by Jake Taylor. Eichen was there, so was Wal Reese. Sent away by Baller Colborne. Well, there is, again, Liam Howarth. Majid Eslami takes him down again. And that straight away brought the Marayong technical area into it. It's going to be the first yellow card of the day for Majid Eslami, who's just harped in on Liam Howarth twice in a matter of moments. And now Jaden Zwerb comes across to check in on his mate and separate everybody and get the ball back himself. And there's a real talking to happening. Both Chakal, the captain and vice-captain of Kelvin Ofori, come in. I'm not sure what annoyed Majid Eslami there. Well, it's a set piece from almost an identical angle to a couple of moments ago. There's no concerns of yellow cards heading into the finals for Majid Eslami, but he's got one to his name anyway, so you have to be careful for the rest of the game. Ball in. It was missed initially, and Maury Konate, it was just a bit too far-fetched for him. Into the hands of Kenny Rogers, who's had a bit to do in this opening 30 minutes or so. It's not been a quiet one as Jake Taylor wins out. Another one who's battled bravely through a couple of rough and tumbles out there. It's been a game not of the highest quality in terms of the footballing just yet, but the entertainment's been really great. As Holoko goes very close to Dudgeon there, but again, he's another keeper who can send it so far away. Josh Ross, a makeshift centre-back today. Forward by Alessi. Lovely flick there by Eichen. It's Maury Konate, had his legs swept cleanly by Arrow Gar. Brilliant stuff by the 23-year-old. Majid Eslami, first player to be booked today. There's been a stoppage in play here, but for what reason? Not quite sure, maybe a slight free kick on Majid himself. Their top goal scorer this year with 10. Kelvin Ofori has 9. Chakal now has 7. They're going to change the ball over finally. I told you that one of them sounded a bit flat when they bounced. You can see below us, not quite in your frame, but Bryce White, brother of Aaron White, who's just completed a full 90 minutes in reserve grade, giving the thumbs up to the camera after securing minor premiership, extending 3 points today. Sent forward by Aaron White. Outside of the right boot of Jaden Zwerb, got in the way there. Arrow Gar clipped forward. Patrick Holocka beaming down on goal. Brave work there it was by Matt Dudgeon. Plays it short to his captain. And he sends it forward. Couchy has not come away with the ball, but wins the set piece. Annoyed was Wal Reese. Annoyed was Ryan Colborne. Stepping over the ball is Daniel Alessi. Leaving it for his captain. He will, though. Actually, not too much of a cold night here on August 10. That's been sent away. The players will be really enjoying the conditions that they're playing out in tonight. So will, of course, the fans watching along too. The hundreds of which have gathered here at Glendenning Reserve. Overflow car park required down the street. Here is Jaden Zwerb. Sends it forward towards Ethan Eichen. Lovely turn towards goal. He's been harped on by two players there. He's looking pretty sharp, but even he couldn't compete with Wal Reese and Arrow Gar in his back. Patrick Holocka with an unorthodox touch, but he's just shy of the halfway line to try and launch a counter-attack. Mervyn Chakal has won the minor premiership if nothing changes with his goal some 10 minutes ago. Back towards goal as he competes. He wins a throw-in, takes it straight away over Zwerb there. Holocka tried to bicycle kick it towards Rivalda. Only 3 goals this year. He picked up a goal contribution every game in the 2023 season. Been a bit more quiet in the more facilitative role this year. Tried to play facilitator once again there. Arrow Gar plays it short, calls for a foul throw. Wasn't even considered by Kane Finlay, one of the most experienced refs in the entire district. What an honour for him to be able to get this game tonight, and so deserved. Brilliant guy, brilliant ref. Won't quite go out, so it's forced to be cleared by Jake Taylor, and Marayong will get a bit of ascendancy. Haven't really had too many opportunities, Marayong, but the one that they've had, they've taken. Will we finally see them put their foot on the ball in the way that we know that they're capable of? Kelvin Afori provided the assist. Ball in towards the front post, spilled as Lamy was lurking. It's Ryan Colborne! Oh, and you can hear the reaction of the crowd. You can tell exactly how close that was. We are talking about a matter of yards. And a very, very minuscule number of them too. Sent away by Dudgeon. Might be using the flat ball here, but no problem for Majid Eslami off his forehead there. Kyle Dominici with a strong challenge in there on his all-star teammate in Kelvin Afori. Rivaldo steps in, a two-time representative himself, up against Howarth. There was a great shake of the hands and dab up between those two when they both arrived to the ground at the same time. And they both knew that they were going to be in for a wild ride tonight, and it's been great to watch so far, and still just the teething stages of this game. Although next to 30 minutes has flown on by, there'll be some time to add on to. Slightly delayed starts. Now the entire Pons first 11 seems to be here. I can see Mr. Pons himself, Taylor Hunter, Aidan Manzaruglu, along with Eliel Hakim, the coach, of course, Ryan Talbot, formerly of the board. And that ball's been put out for a corner. Well, it was a corner from that side that caused the first goal, although was there an offside flag raised? So Doonside are alleviated defensively by an offside flag that they're very grateful for sure. And that's been sent away by Dudgeon once again. And one in the sky by Josh Ross, who was very brave. Speaking of Pons, by the way, joined from Pons this year. Konate was strong in there, formerly of Workers Reserve grade side, playing as a defender. He's been a striker at Doonside and been so good. Free man at the back post was Couchy, but it was always going away from him. And it just curled too much in the reverse direction to which he was running. Kenny Rogers takes his goal kick again. Halaka was threatening. It was won there by Jake Taylor. There's Ethan Eichen trying to find his newly found strike partner. Not many games he's had with him, and a pretty important one to learn quickly. Nice. Attempted a through ball, but it was always looking overhit, and it's wound out that way too. Ryan Colborne and Josh Ross, the two players who are playing this game on 4 yellow cards and have to be careful today. Arrow Gar put one in on Jordan Hannon there, and they're going to have a little talking to off camera there. I think he's been winded, Jordan Hannon. Ethan Eichen's competing here with Josh Ross, speaker of the devil himself. Jordan Hannon stayed down here after Arrow put one into him, and now Arrow's the one who is keeling over, feeling a bit of the pinch. Hannon's gone down on one knee. It's Rivaldo who actually alerts Mr. Finlay of his situation. Marayong get a chance to get their breath back. Doonside get a chance to check on their mate. Hannon would be an instrumental loss if he were to go off. It's a fixture that has brought about forced changes in years gone by. Of course, this was the very end of the pitch that we're pointing to right now, where Doonside lost their favourite son heading into last year's final series, about the midway point or even the 2/3 mark of the season. It was Kyle Dominici who went down and only returned to play All-Stars. That was his first match back against the Spartans, of course. And then he became a gymnast halfway through the first half, if you might remember, if you've got a keen memory. That's been cleared away towards Majid Eslami. Halaka will get there first, surprisingly quick. So sharp. One there by Nick Cauchi. Lovely little Iniesta change of direction, and in between the heels there, Hannon. Ooh. Well, he used to be a midfielder by trade, 6 or an 8, depending on the day, when he was back in his earlier NPL representative days. Came to find a home at fullback and has not looked back since, whether it's left or right. Actually likes to play any position on the pitch, and supposedly he's done so in all of his years as a Doonsider, but the only position he hates is centre-back. But he's happy to bomb on as a fullback. Here's a bit of insight for you. If you ever play against Jordan Hannon and he's happened to be in the occupying the centre-back, you can give him some stick for it. And it looks like the two wingers have swapped. So Jakal's gone off to the right and Rivaldo's gone on to the left. Now, off to the left is where Rivaldo used to be the guy in terms of goal scoring and main output. How will they accommodate this change, this swap of wingers? Majid Eslami and Patrick Halaka are interchanging constantly between 9 and 10 themselves. So again, we're checking on the state of the pumped ball. Doonside have pumped up balloons here and put up sponsorship signs everywhere and made sure that this car park's ready to go. They forgot to pump their footballs, unfortunately. No matter. Ball delivered in. Centre way there, it was a bit poor by Aaron White, who of course delivered the grand final equalising assist, if you like, of 2023 with his set piece in the 49th minute, the 4th minute of added on time from the first half. Cauchi hates to lose the ball. Hannon. Alessi. Not been on the ball as much as someone as technically gifted as he should be, in my personal untrained opinion. Don't take too much from what I say from a footballing standpoint. Oh! That's a big tackle in there. And Marayong right in front of their technical area, and they all got to their feet rather quickly there. It was Jake Taylor who came in with the studs beaming like they're on display in a car showroom. He's escaped with little more than a set piece against him, but thankfully for all involved, for the sake of having 11v11 and the sake of some ankles, no one was injured from that. Jakal, first time we've seen him get the ball on the right-hand side. He's meant to be closed down by 2 players at once, including the opposing captain. Comes out here to that Kyle Dominici. He gives the ball away towards Halaka, looking for his 10th of the season. Actually, it'll be his 9th, forgive me. Eight goals, 8 assists in just 15 games. Jordan Hannon, speak of him, by the way, along with Jaden Zwerb. The only two players that have started every single game for Doonside this season so far. In fact, from both starting 11s, the only two have started every single game. A lot of them on 14 or 15. Missed 2 or 3. One there by Wall Reese. He hurt himself with the landing, though. Hopefully he's okay. Lovely pass by Haloka to find Rivaldo, but his first touch wasn't his greatest, and that's actually warranted a free kick off of Hannon on Rivaldo. And I want you to cast your mind back to round 18 of 2022, the year Doonside became grand final winners. Kelvin Ofori versus Jamison Himwood, you might remember. It was from quite literally this exact position where Kelvin Ofori was able to whip one into the top right-hand corner and took everyone by surprise. It was merely a consolation, but it was a goal nonetheless. He's got 5 match of the round goals. One's a free kick against Doonside. One is not a free kick against Doonside. Will he get his third in a minor premiership deciding game? He does strike it towards goal, towards the near post. Was that a corner? They're going to contest for all that it's worth, Marayong, but they're not going to get what they want. Well hit and well saved. Sent away there by Dudgeon. Winning in the air was Josh Ross, and he's able to head that down to Aaron White, two makeshift defenders today. Oh, lovely touch there by Jake Taylor. He has not meant that, but geez, it looked good. Or did he? Konate, ball taken off him. Ball back in Doonside's favour, though. That's a big win again for the big striker. Geez, the Hawks Nation would love a goal right now as we teeter towards half-time. They've had the more opportunities, but Marayong are starting to get a bit of ascendancy in terms of the territory and where they're holding the ball. Throw in taken. Flick towards goal. It was Eichen who got his head to it as well, but he's really not had much of a chance outside of that swivel that happened a couple of moments after the first goal of the game. In the back on Kyle Dominici, enough to warrant a free kick. Well spotted there by the referee. Zwerb takes it just shy of the semicircle in his own half and sends that full with a lot of backspin. It's one there, uncontested by Arrogar. Kyle Dominici's only got 1 goal to his name this year. Sent forward up the touchline towards Jake Taylor, who's not left-footed, but that's a good-looking ball in. It's been sent here towards Ethan Neves. Kelvin Ofori picks up, not someone we've seen on the ball too much either outside of his goal contribution. Colborne left it because he knows he cannot get a yellow card. Free kick given, though, and is there a reach for the pocket? You could see he was thinking in two minds there. Do I step in here and definitely help keep the lead, or do I let him run forward past me? It's a precarious situation that the number 6 finds himself in for the entire duration of this game. It's like being on a yellow card from before the first minute, because you will become ineligible into the finals. Zwereb clips it in. Good looking ball. Eichen heads it towards goal. Konate was there. And it was headed out for a goal kick. Couple of opportunities for Doonside that do not go unnoticed. They've had the majority of them. Sent away again this time, Kenny Rogers. On minute 34 we are right now. They were taken by Aaron White. Of course, went off injured in the grand final after having such a great contribution with his set piece that led to Benny Lamb's goal. Went off with an MCL concern, has returned back to full fitness, was back by round 1 against Ropes. Forward comes Nick Couchy, forward goes Jordan Hannon. Ethan Eichen and Maury Konate going onto the same ball. Walroy sends it into the fence. Hannon again. Konate again back to goal. Sliding into the back of him was Konate, and Colborne's okay, which is great. Free kick given again, and what's been a really cagey stop-start game. Yes, having the opportunity to watch the goal back, it's actually Liam Howarth who went with his non-dominant right foot to clear it while at the near post, and he missed it, and it was the instincts. It was the instincts of a bicycle kick from Mervyn Chakal, who got that pivotal touch. And Liam Howarth will be left feeling sorry with himself, unfortunately. If you go back and watch the replay, perhaps at half-time when we do get there in about 10 minutes or so, his reaction straight away tells you all you need to know. Unfortunate moment for the kid. He steps in there, though, with a big, brave header. There is Ethan Neves. Maury Konate and Ethan Eichen are the two targets going forward. It's just kind of hashed forward anywhere will do. Kenny Rogers will be able to pick that one up, which he does. Sent forward again. Hannon stepped in with the outside of his right boot. Here is Daniel Alessi. Sends that wide towards Nicholas Cauchi. Forward running was Jordan Hannon. Majid Eslami opts to not close him down. Walry steps in. So good. A three-time African Cup winner. One-time winner as a coach as well on top of that. So 4 in total. Esteemed. Reese again wins it out of the sky. Cauchi on the edge of the box. Nowhere near facing goal. Hard to fashion an angle. This time delivered in by Hannon. That's a really good threatening ball. And the former Doonside keeper himself, Kenny Rogers, comes up with the save. A reminder to those who might have just tuned in or didn't have their sound on for whatever reason, a draw is not enough for Doonside today. They have to win. It does not matter by the margin, but they do have to win. Right now, everything in favour of Marayong, who are technically, even though they are 1-0 up, they are technically, if you like, 2 goals up in the minor premiership race. All thanks to a little mishap at the front post and a good bit of striking instincts by one of the favourite sons in Mervyn Chakal. Oh, a bit of a hash clearance there, but Nicholas Cauchi to pounce onto it. Wouldn't this be a way to change the tide of the game? Josh Ross is lucky. There's a bunch of Ponds guys who are watching from behind the goal who would have had a wry smile on their face there in that moment. But survive away they do. It's a season where they've only conceded 15 goals so far in 17 and a half odd games. Have Marayong. Doonside have only conceded 19. 3 of those goals came against, of course, their opposition today. That's been sent away by Kenny Rogers. Again, approaching half-time, inside the single digits of minutes until that point. There's a bit of a 3-on-3 forming here, but again, it's the final ball that's just not quite working for Doonside at the moment. And so once again, Kenny Rogers has a goal kick. He must be getting sick of taking all of these. I can confidently say it's not been a game where I think we can look back and say, wow, that was breathtaking football, end-to-end stuff. But it has been entertaining in other ways. There have been some monster tackles come in. There have been some moments of precarity. And there have been some moments that are certainly going to live long in the memory, especially the goal, of course. But in terms of any sort of passing movements or combinations or lethal runs in behind or real moments of individual quality, we haven't quite seen that yet. And I feel like we're going to see it all open up in the second half, because it always does in the Blacktown Premier League match of the round games. It always happens in the second half. Alessi. He's never going to get there off Forey, so in stepped Jaden Zwerb. So quick to it. 27 in his prime years as an athlete. Dominici slowed it down. Eslami playing like a makeshift defensive winger at times. Somehow Arrogars come away with that unscathed. The left-footed clearance wasn't great either. Out of position today, don't forget. There's going to be a set piece in favour of Marayong here for a tackle on Arrow. Marayong want a card distributed, which would make it 1 apiece. Gars stayed down, lying flat on his face. And they're asking the physios to come over. Arrow's now on his knees as he stretches out whatever seems to be hurting the most right now. Not too much in the way of replacements in terms of a direct swap at fullback. Dylan Owusu's injured until probably the end of the season. There's a slight chance he could come back, I've been told, but unfortunately, as the competition is already aware, he is injured and has been out of the team sheet for a long, long time. There is a 21s eligible Daniel Martinago on the bench, who was there for the 21s grand final win last grand final series. Gabby De Oliveira is not even in the team list and hasn't been for a while. I'm not sure exactly what his situation is at the moment. No real go-to option. But Arrow still down. I thought it was a moment where he was just trying to see the time pass, but that's not turned out to be the case, it seems. He's in some real discomfort. There's some discussions happening in multiple different languages out there right now from the Marayong end about what they're going to do here. I'm doing my best to listen out for it for the sake of you viewers watching along from the live stream. If you're wondering what game we're going to do next week, that is yet to be announced. So the rescheduled finals format will see Marayong have a week off. They will play the loser of 2v3 and also 4v5 will play each other. All of those matches are sudden death. There is no protection for the first place finishing team. All they do is get a week off, which after a couple of continued weeks off, do you want the week off? I'm not sure. Well, either way, if you're first place, you can't control it. Below us as well, speak of them, Dylan Owusu and also Lord Darko, of course, all-star voted, but eventually ineligible player as he moved back into the NPL world before unfortunately doing his knee at Mount Druitt Town Rangers, here to watch along. Good to see him here, one of, again, the competition's nice guys, Lord Darko, brother of Richie, of course. Hopefully he's on the mend. Be great to have him back in our comp next year if he feels like having it a bit easier. But again, let's turn our attention back to Arrow Gar, who stayed down. I think Doonside are now asking the question of how long is he going to stay down for when the side of the pitch is right there. He's been offered some help. He's not going to be allowed to go through the middle of the pitch. He's going to be instructed to go off to the side, which is sensible because we now have to add on nearly 4 or 5 minutes on top of any other stoppages that might be included on top of that as well. So I think, well, it looks like Arrow's done, but might Marayong just sit in with 10 until half-time? No, I think they're gesturing for a substitution. I have not seen anybody warming up on the sideline, which seems ridiculous. So they are now down to 10. Ryan Colborne's going to step in as a left-back. He has always been a narrow-minded player. So that might be a little bit awkward for him, but he's going to have to do it for the good of the team. Marayong down to 10, either temporarily or until they make a sub. But they don't want to wait around too long to make a decision. Arrow Gar has now forced probably maybe 5, but anywhere between 5 and 7, maybe even 5 and 8 minutes of added on time. It's the discretion of the referee out there with the whistle in hand. Let's see what he does. And let's see what Marayong do. If they want to sit it out until halftime and then make a judgment on his fitness at halftime, that's a brave decision to take on. Shia Chakal, who registered as a player this year and scored a goal, actually, and then also played in goals, is running across the check on the condition of arrow and see if he'll be able to take any further part in this game. But it's a very defensive setup right now. Everybody back. Rivaldo, Majid Islami included, Jakal included. The only one forward really is Paddy Haloka. So now here comes Shia Jakal, former Doonside man, of course, himself. That, along with his brother, of course, in Mervyn. Both used to grace these grounds a long, long time ago. Not in recent years. Back to the action that's happening in front of us as Marayong sit in and hope for their lives. As Kelvin Afori puts a foot on the ball, that's going to go out into the Marayong technical area. Looks like Naji El-Kazi is there as well, club president, helping out some decision making. Yep, they're going to go to the bench. Is that Nazir Komi coming on? Or is it not? No, that's Mubarak Saeed. So Mubarak Saeed is going to come in as a left back. He's still stretching and warming up. He's barely got his boots on. He's been instructed to defend up against Ethan Neves straight away. Well, that's not the easiest job to do, even if he's only got to do it for the next 5 or so minutes. Look at the watch by the referee. Mubarak Saeed's played as a striker, a left wing, a right wing, a 10. And today he's playing as a left back. Rivaldo in tights. I'm sure there'll be shifts at half-time. Rivaldo looking for Haloka. It's now 11v11 again. Jaden Zwerb up against Haloka. Haloka's come away with it a bit fortuitously, but it's because of his guile that he's come away with it. The Marayong crowd like that one. There's been a flag raised for a throw-in. Such a shame to see arrow go off in what is technically the first time I've got the pleasure of watching him in a match of the round with my own 2 eyes. Not to say that he hasn't made his match of the round debut. He did, of course, against Pons just a couple of weeks ago. Well, 1 week ago, in fact. Couchy, Doonside have their tails up. They're sniffing blood a little bit here as Marayong fielding a very makeshift backline. The only real person in there familiar to the back four is Wal Reese. It's not a bad name to have there, to be fair. In by Hannon towards the back stick. White Rose didn't communicate with his mate, though. Afori steps in, finds Mubarak Saeed. Forward he goes. Most recently an African Cup winner is Mubarak Saeed. Sent forward. Rivaldo tried to get it through his own legs and bamboozle the defender. It didn't work, though. Whitey will set it all the way through to the keeper. Picks it up. Does Dean. Kenny Rogers. And sent away. Missed by Jake Taylor. Followed through to the keeper by Zwerb. Easily claimed by Matty Dudgeon. Uncontested Josh Ross. And it's just pinball at the moment. Ball up, ball away, ball up, ball away. Mubarak Saeed. Loose touch. He's come away with it, though. Sent wide to Aaron White by Wal Reese. In his way was Nick Couchy, though. Just lumped forward there. Good touch out of the sky there by Jake Taylor. Not the first time he's done that tonight. Dominici involved. Hitting the deck was Jake Taylor again. Another late challenge. Oh, and is Ryan Colborne about to receive a yellow card? This is a big moment here. This is a very, very big moment. Maybe it's a last warning. I think he's just about got away with it. Smooth talker Colborne's got away with it there. Eligible for finals, he still is. The time ticks on. Is this the final chance of the first half for Doonside Hawks, who need 2 goals if they are to win this minor premiership? Islami in the wall. It's gone deep, gone very deep. It's been allowed to bounce before it went out. Whose ball? A goal kick. They don't agree, Doonside, but they're going to have to cop it. Absolutely no rush to take this whatsoever. Doonside right now struggling to really break down what is a makeshift Marayong defence. But I think if they keep knocking on the door, eventually it will come. Of course, it is a makeshift Doonside team too, without their 22-goal striker, Marcus Correa. That's gone into touch and into the crowd. Saeed. Question marks there over the touch. And what body part it came off of Colborne. Kenny Rogers has time. Ethan Eichen closes him down. And again, it's back in the hands of the keeper. Probably going to be sent away into the night sky. Dropped a couple of degrees in the last couple of moments too. Holoka competing there with Jake Taylor. That ball sounds flat once again. Afori did well to get a past one. What about the second? He's come away with it by hook or by crook. It's the aura that surrounds the king. Water ball through to Rivaldo. What a save. Offside flag raised. Wouldn't have counted. And that brings about the halftime whistle as well. It ends with a bang, not a whimper. And 15 minutes or so, we're going to hope that the rest of the 45 minutes that precede that are just as fiery as that play was there. What a move it was by Kelvin Afori. Great save there by Matty Dudgeon. It is Mervyn Chakal's 5th odd-minute goal that separates these two teams here. It's been a cagey game. Not much controversy whatsoever, but a game that has really seen both teams struggle to play their best kind of football. Both teams have very, very obvious brands of football that they've not been quite able to express. Liam Howarth coming off the pitch, very, very limpy after those two big challenges with Majid Eslami. The one yellow card given out to the number 10 from Marayong, but otherwise only the one goal to talk about. Plenty of drama and stuff to go along with it. Come back in about 13 minutes or so when the two teams are on their way to walk out. I'll let you know of any changes that come through to my phone. But until then, 1-0 thanks to Chakal. The captain stepped up. Welcome back. I hope you didn't miss the action too much. Well, you won't have to worry anymore because we're just moments away from kicking back off again. It looks like the same two sides are going to grace the pitch, just this time running one way rather than the other. Now, straight away, if you are able to pan to the right by any chance, it is in fact Liam Howarth, who is down, already stretching. He's come out of the halftime sheds and he's looked fine for a moment. And I'm just going to interrupt my everlasting monologue to just point attention to him. So I think now that he's right in front of us for this second half as he bombs up down this near side, I think we should keep a keen eye on him because he's maybe only got 15 or so minutes left to go before he starts becoming a bit of a hassle to himself. We hope that his well-being is all good, but he's clearly been shaken up by those two previous knocks. Anyway, these two teams back out in the same formations with the same 11 players that we saw end the first half. We've still got Majid Lamy in the midfield. We've still got Paddy Holaka up top. We've still got Kelvin Ofori and Ryan Colborne. And most importantly, though, that makeshift back four, right to left of Aaron Wright, Josh Ross, Wal Reese, and Mubarak Saeed, of all people, is still the back four that will see out, for Marayong fans, hopefully, a clean sheet on their way to a minor premiership win. 45 minutes to decide where it goes. 45 minutes to create a once only ever done a repeat of a triple minor premiership, done only what it would be for the first time tonight. Very rare that reserves and first win with the old way that we used to do the competitions. Very rare that you do it 2 times in a row. Chuck in a third 21s competition and to win the three-peat twice is absolutely amazing. Can they hold out? Doonside need 2 goals. It's that simple. A draw is not enough. Whitey steps in. Sent away. That was the intent, at least, by Jake Taylor. Now he's out of position, but he's stepped in just enough. Majid Eslami's come away with it, though. There is Rivaldo. The pass was poor. It's been the story of the entire game so far. Just a bit of a lack of quality at times. In the final third, particularly, the defences have been really tight on both teams. Unsurprisingly, the two best defensive teams in this competition by a landslide, or perhaps landslide's the wrong word to use when talking about defences. Eslami tried to flick it towards goal, trying to find his strike partner of sorts in Haloka. It was a deft, dainty header by Paddy Haloka in the game against Workers that produced what turned out to be the winning goal in a 3-0 win. I wonder what was said in the sheds by Doonside, because they really need to kick themselves into a higher gear here. I think both teams have 1 or 2 more levels that they could attain. There's not much motivation, I guess, to go hell for leather in terms of putting your body on the line, perhaps, because there is a final series that does come with, I guess you could say, way more prestige in terms of the occasion of making a grand final. But in saying all of that, to have a minor premiership in your jaws, you wouldn't want to not go 100% for it. At least that's the way I see it. Kelvin Ofori, who was competing to win consecutive Player of the Year titles. Dropped another couple of degrees over half-time as well. So let's hope that the players decide to keep themselves warm by moving around just as much. Fatigue will set in around the 60th minute as they back up from Wednesday night, of course. This might fall here to Holoka, offside flag raised. Gone down in a heap. He'll get back up now once he realises that there's no point in trying to win any sort of foul, potentially. Blake Skur, Taylor Hunter watching along right now, along with Dylan Owusu, so it's a combination of some of the game's greats, some of the competition's best on and off the pitch. Having a chat down below us to our right. Might jump into frame for a moment there, as Kyle Dominici, without his brother Ryan today, sends that wide. Ethan Eichen dropping in deep, trying to facilitate. Hasn't really been his night so far, the 25-year-old. Of course, just fresh off the back of being in Europe for a long time. His job is to stand and score tonight. Hasn't really had those opportunities fashioned for him. Looking a bit freer now with his movement and poor touch by Neves. And it's just, that's been the story, unfortunately, of this entire game. And I actually do think the early goal has come to the detriment of both teams here because it's allowed Marayong to rest on their laurels from a defensive standpoint. And it's meant that Doonside perhaps feel that it's a little bit beyond them. Now, we know that it only took 5 minutes for Doonside to score 2 goals against what ended up being a rotated Marayong outfit when these two teams last met on the 18th of May. So it doesn't take them much. And when the tails are up, the tails are up. But do they feel like they're potentially out of this right now? I certainly hope not. Lovely work there by Mervyn Jakal, who's been potentially the player of the match so far. Ball taken off him at the critical moment there, which doesn't look good. But he's been pretty good to watch so far. And, of course, has the goal that separates these two teams. I think Wal Reese is a good shot as well, along with Jake Taylor. It's not been a day for midfielders. It's not been a day for the attackers. It's really been a game defined by defenders. Jake Taylor stepping in there. It's come here to Rivaldo, though, who has some space to open either side. He goes to his left. It's been given away, though. There was 2 to aim at. Somehow it's not materialised. Neves, former Polonia representative, now in Dooney colours. Polonia speak of the Devils. They'll be here next year, back in the PL1 after a rampaging race to promotion. They'll be celebrating into tonight. I can promise you now that the last game of the season is done. Head over to Choppin for a chat with the Polonia boys. Bit of a dangerous one here for Dudgeon. Just about keeps it. He's gone down, though. Did Rivaldo clip the top of his head, perhaps? Rivaldo goes over to say sorry straight away. Dudgeon isn't going to worry about that now. He's just worried about with the burning feeling going to the top of his head right now. Oh, and how unfortunate. A young spectator's just lost his balloon into the night sky. Away it goes. Dudgeon's staying down. Doonside are not the ones who want to be time wasting in this match. Well, back we are, about to be in play once again. Dudgeon with the ball in hand after receiving the drop ball. Majid Eslam is going to be the one to close him down. Of course, whipped out the old man Samuel Eto'o celebration when he scored 2 goals against this outfit last time, which was also in a match of the round. Marayong could play really quickly here. Mubarak Saeed's capable of delivering the finishing touches to a grand final, but what about a set piece? He's going to just play it square and sweet. Ross, that took a touch off a Doonside man, and it's won back by Neves. Then it's taken back off him by Aaron White, who is the real quiet achiever of this Marayong team. Gets to a lot of work no matter what position he's in. Unsung hero, singing your praises today. Cole Bourne, showing his experience there with a pass out wide. Lovely touch there by Chakal, who's looked fresh. Taken off it by Zwereb. And he's saying, surely that didn't come off of the outside of my ankle, Mr. Finlay. And Mr. Finlay is saying, no, it did, Merv, and it's out for a throw. Back in play. Marayong with the ascendancy right now. Rivaldo teaming into the box. It's been cleared a little awkwardly. It's going to test Liam Howarth here. He sends that into touch. Marayong are the ones now who are putting the pinch on Doonside. Are they about to rob the nest once again? Sent away by Howarth with his rifle. Konate has barely touched the ball in the second half so far. Walry sends it all the way back to Kenny, trying to keep his paws warm. He sends that away with his expert technique. Offside flag raised. Doonside have a bit of a pressure release there. Kelvin Ofori says, hey, you got to get onside there. In the most Kelvin Ofori way possible. Straight to the point. A 14th assist added to his tally for the number 8. He's not a 10. He might have played some games earlier on in the season when they were trying to figure out where Islami and Holoka would combine. Really, he is an out-and-out 8. That's why his number says 8. To pick up 20-plus goal contributions is truly, truly phenomenal. He is a phenom. Taylor sends that forward laterally down under the challenge. Went Mubarak Saeed. Free kick given away by Mubarak, who should have had an assist in the All-Stars match versus Blacktown Spartans first grade. It wasn't to be after an unbelievable save, you might remember. Now Jordan Hannon stands over this. This is a real bit of dangerous territory here. In it comes, Icon flicks it towards goal. Konate was threatening. On the edge of the box was Alessi, and it was never threatening goal. Sent away well clear of the halfway line once again, which leads me to believe that perhaps this Doonside pitch is a little shorter than ones we might be more used to in other areas. Colborne sends it away with his unpreferred left, but it ended up being an accurate pass. It's one back there by Nick Cauchi. What a pass that is. Howarth with space to run into. Poor pass though. Whitey a bit haphazardly gets it back, and then a little square pass to find Rivaldo. Possession changes hands, or should I say feet, a couple of times there. Stepping in the game was Patrick Holoka. Ooh, late challenge. Sliding in was Mervyn Shakal. This will be another big one again. One there by Jake Taylor. It's just aerial ping pong at the moment. I've got no idea what the tactics are of these two teams. Rivaldo wins it back. Someone who can change the game on his own. Speak of changing games on their own. Kelvin Ofori, Colborne puts it out for a throw-in, though. It's just unfortunate, and I cannot understand why, but both teams just lacking quality when going forward. It's almost like they've played a lot of games Wednesday to Saturday, and perhaps they're fatiguing a little bit, which is just the fault of Mother Nature, to be fair. Stepping in is Kyle Dominici, who never seems to run out of energy. He's got space to burn, and he can really hit one from distance. You know! Oh, save! Kenny Rogers had to get low and down to his right. It won the approval of Maury Konate, that save. He gets up a little gingerly, as he always does when he has to stretch far. But stretch far and wide he did, and the corner he has produced. Keeper of the year for a reason. And so now Doonside are the ones to pile numbers forward. A reminder, if you have just joined us or you haven't computed it, they do need 2 goals. They must win this game if they want the minor premiership and the week off. Ofori steps in, the man who provided the assist for the only goal of the game, from vice-captain to captain. Ofori goes down, help to his feet. Good to know that Jeremy Wynn is watching this from Washington in the USA right now. The BDSFA Premier League is truly global. Balling towards the front post, almost like the Marayong did in the first half. Where will it fall to? Both teams contesting for it verbally. It's going to be consecutive corners. Well, that was almost an exact repeat of what we saw. The only change would have been the fact that it was an in-swinger. Now that front post has been a bit more tightly marked this time. Ball in again by Howarth again. It's a really good-looking ball. Where will it fall to? Was there a handball? Kenny Rogers is down. It's been cleared. The play is stopped. What is the verdict? Rogers still down. Off for a run goes Jake Bickford, who will be making his match of the round debut, former Park Lee representative during the golden age of Park Lee last decade. Ball in delivered again. Howarth tried to be sneaky with it. That one was a poor one, so he's probably thanking the lucky stars that he's going to get a chance to take another one again. We know from the All-Stars game just how good he is at whipping in a set piece. That's 2 in a row that were absolutely delightful. And Marayong needs to be really careful, because if Doonside were to find a goal here, it is going to be loose ends for the next 30 minutes. Another great ball towards the front post, and a massive miss in the context of what this game means by Ethan Neves. He got his head to it bravely, but he couldn't steer it into the back of the net. You can hear Glen's Wereb, who's feeling encouraged by the last couple of minutes from what he's seen. Sent away, not by Kenny Rogers, but in fact by Josh Ross this time. Halaka is there, tried to pivot and swivel and send it first time. He couldn't find Rivaldo, who's now barreling back in defence. Colborne pulled out of it. Ross intercepted it from his own teammates. White past Jake Taylor, who's wildly out of position. Alessi stepped in, who played centre-back against these two last time. Cauchy passed the challenge of Mubarak Saeed. Is that Carl Dominici? Infield pass snuffed out by the reigning player of the year. Howarth took it off his loose touch, though. Neves didn't get the chance to get to that ball. Massive coming together that Howarth has not won. Space to run into. White played it too quickly for my liking. He's this time gone to their prodigious number 8. Kelvin Ofori showing us all the trickery that deserves the Player of the Year title to his name. The ball delivered in. It's a good-looking ball. There was no one at that part of the goal, though. Throw in taken very quickly. Ethan Eichen trying to turn. That's not really his game. Oh, hacked into there. And down under the challenge. Winning the set piece. A shake of the hands from his own teammate. And on we go. You know who I think would actually break this game right up? And I think Nazir Komi, or in particular I would say, Benny Lamb, would be able to put his foot on the ball in a game like this. But he, of course, did play the game prior to this, and a good chunk of it too. Returning back from a broken hand / wrist. Rivaldo with his left foot delivered in, cleared away by Zwereb. The bruiser comes away with it, sends it out wide towards Cauchy. That's a bit too much behind it, and it's just it's like the pitch is increasing the acceleration of the ball every time either team decides they want to score a goal. And the final pass is just always overhit. Colborne, 1-2 with a throw-in taker. Mubarak Saeed wasn't expecting that. It's been taken off him by Cauchy. Infield pass towards Maurice Konate. He sends it back out wide towards Eichen. He's feeling very 2022 with the position he's taken up here, and it's gone out for a corner. While we know what Howarth is capable of delivering, we saw it 3 times in a row. He has this innate ability to just whip it in towards that front post, and it's caused havoc so far. Might he change it up a little bit here and try and catch Marayong lacking? Colborne front post alongside Kelvin Ofori. Kenny Rogers taking up probably 70% towards the front post. Right, one hand raised this time. That's gone towards the back stick this time, a little bit too deep, headed towards goal. Kenny Rogers won't have too many more issues with claiming any balls than that one. That's been thrown into space for Majid Islami to run into and claim possession of. He does just that. With his left foot, he tries to find Rivaldo. It's been won in the air there by Jordan Hannon, and then it's won by Cauchy. It's come back here to Carl Dominici, who's passed his all-star teammate, sliding in, almost taking out the 2 coaches of Marayong in the process. Throw in this time for Marayong. Lovely touch, Halaka. Former Glenwood Golden Boot winner before the PL1, PL2 split of many moons ago. Rivaldo, this is good. This is what we want to see from him. Where might it fall to? Mervyn Chakal was about to win the minor premiership on his own. And he's gone just wide. Receives heaps of encouragement from some old teammates of yesteryear behind the goal there. Interesting call from deep in defence. Merv Stain 9. We'll see if he does. Icon closing down Walrus, who has not missed a Springer step. Was there a child who was just hit in the crowd just there? There was. Hopefully she's okay. Poor thing. Receives a hug from Dad. We're past the 2/3 mark of the game now. Marayong counting down the minutes until we get, or they get, I should say we get towards the end of the game. They get closer to the 90th minute. Colborne strong in there on Konate. Doesn't want to give away too many set pieces. That's almost interesting that it's actually been given in favour of Marayong. Same age, those two. Both wonderful competitors. Lumped forward by White. One there by Halaka. What a flick on it is! Rivaldo perhaps to seal the minor premiership! Not to be. Marayong getting closer as Doonside push more and more numbers forward. A couple of lightning counterattacks, all involving that of Paddy Halaka right through the spine. Brilliant, brilliant player. Again, Walrus steps in. There is Ethan Neves. Not his best pass. Who might this fall to? It's always going to be a foot race run by Doonside's number 4. Chakal trying his best, though, and he almost outwitted him there. Let's come here to Kelvin Ofori. Not his best pass, though. He, of all people, gives it away. Couchy. Brilliant work to win the free kick. He is so diminutive. That's a mighty punch forward and sent away off the head of Josh Ross. Strong palm by Mubarak Saeed. And he is pushed into the ground. There's a slight little kick out at it in there, actually. I'm going to be very, very careful with those kick-outs. The rule is a real fine line, completely up to the determination of the referee as to what constitutes a red from a kick-out, but it can be very minute. Always got to be careful. Not worth it. 20-odd minutes to go. The minor premiership firmly in the hands of Marayong. Doonside need 2 goals. A draw is not enough. Sent away by Kenny Rogers, formerly of Doonside, formerly 7-year servant of Quakers Hill Juniors as well. Got the call from Marayong. Answered it and has been excellent, as he always has been. No surprises. The Ofori. Triangles finally being formed in the midfield. Halaka always involved. Lovely pass. That is wonderful. Rivaldo now. It's been left here for Kelvin Ofori. Just the anchor man, Colborne, but he's fine with doing that job. Sliding challenge by Ofori was missed. Not been his absolute best 11 out of 10 tonight. Seen glimpses, but given away there. And then Howarth is battered into. That's a horrendous challenge. Doonside faithful don't like that one. It's the most obvious yellow card of all time. And Howarth, hopefully that's not his night done. The kid just gets battered every single game. It's real unfortunate to see. When you are so dangerous and so fast, you do attract unwanted attention. And he'll be sore tonight, he'll be sore tomorrow. The question to be asked, though, was, and I'm going to do my best as I watch it back to try and narrate what happens. Is there a hint of a leading elbow by any chance? Let's have a little gaze. It's not the nicest looking challenge in the world. most obvious yellow in footballing history. A two-man wall consisting of Majid Aslami, top goal scorer, and Mervyn Chakal, longest serving player. Ball delivered in low and flat, and there was a touch there, and then a spill off of Icon's shot towards goal. Konate is there. Where might it fall to? Finally back into Kenny Rogers' hands. He's limping around the place like he's just come back from the wars. And in the wars he has been tonight. That was always going to be a difficult touch for Merv. Into the back of Howarth was Aslami fairly this time. Icon got the outside of the right boot to that one. Ethan Icon with a bit of profanity. It's going to bring about a yellow card. Has scored 36, well, in 36 Premier League starts in the last 4 years. Starts, that is, not appearances, starts. He's scored 37 goals. This would actually even out his record if he wasn't to score tonight. With a yellow card to boot. As Marayong go from conceding a free kick. I should say Doonside conceding a free kick to Marayong conceding one. Did Aslami touch the ball? He's already on a yellow card. He needs to be really careful here. No back chat. No funny stuff. Kane Finlay try to hurry things up now. Missed Neves, missed Afori. Mori Konate was sliding in there. Might fall here to Ethan Neves. It didn't because Baller Colborne stepped in. Rivaldo got a touch. It almost came to Aslami. Won eventually by Jake Taylor. Then Kyle Dominici. Then Alessi. Back to Kyle Dominici. Merv stepped in well. Used his body well. Doonside Faithful didn't like that challenge by Chakal. Really good looking ball in. Ethan Icon straight into the hands of Kenny Rogers, who will be very, very grateful that he didn't have to move too much for that because it had some oomph behind it. Whitey, who's on a yellow himself now. That's been sent forward. His hit and hopes have been great tonight. That's gone all the way back to Dudgeon from Zorab. Nice stuff. Icon now on a yellow himself. While Reese sent that forward towards Rivaldo. Sent away by Zwerb. Just about stayed in for a little bit. So they're going to go to their bench. Marayong. Doonside yet to even provoke a thought of changing things around. Majid Aslami on a yellow card. Done his job tonight. He comes off. I've got a very funny feeling that it is Michael Cody, who, considering how fast this kid is, coming on at this point of the season, after his great performance on Wednesday night, where he scored the second goal in a 3-0 win. Oh yeah, this is going to be fun. Doonside are, in fact, going to go to their bench as well. They're going to go to their own diminutive winner. I think that's Franklin Colby in the 14 jersey. Would I be correct in saying that? No, I am not. It looks the number 22 jersey, rather, instead. Well, there isn't a number 22 on the team sheet of that of Doonside, but that looks, for all money's worth, like Franklin Colby. And if he adopts a left or right wing position, we'll know for sure. Kyle Dominici launches one from distance. A little selfish, perhaps. Not usually people know to close him down from that kind of position now. And in the first season, it might have worked a charm, but here now in season 3, people know his tendency to shoot from distance, and they can sort of force him one side or the other. Again, it's not Kenny Rogers taking the goal kicks. One there by Afori. Out it goes for a Doonside throw-in. So it looks like they've gone for a 4-3-3 now as well, with Konate as the main striker and Ethan I can back into his perhaps even more well-known or preferred right-winger position. He can be a bit more involved there. Cauchi drops into midfield. One there by Rivaldo. Is this the chance? Mervyn Chakal has a lot of work to do. Rivaldo was killed off the ball. Is anything going to be brought back for that? Advantage has been played. Chakal still in the box. He's tussling for the ball. He slides in. Is anything going to be done about the challenge on Rivaldo a couple of moments ago? Here he is. He goes out wide. Then he's been clipped again. He's frustrated. He asks Kane Finlay what the response should be. Here he is back on the ball again. Wasn't really ready for that one. He's played it square and short and simple. Out wide that goes by Afori. Not his greatest pass. Bit of a barging challenge by Mubarak Saeed. That's so good from him. Slide in or a slip. Either way, Mubarak has still got the ball. He decided the grand final. Will he desire the minor premiership? No. Cleared away. So after all that, I think Kevin Guerrero is the one getting the talking to now. I think he was the one who had the challenge on Rivaldo. Right. So with the amount of time we have left in this game, a goal here would almost certainly decide things. $15 left to go. If Marayong were to score here, it would mean Doonside needs 3 goals in order to win the minor premiership. Ball delivered in by Afori. It's a really good ball, and Michael Cody should have scored. It might still fashion an opportunity. They won't because Kyle Dominici stepped in. And could they launch a counter-attack? Here goes Nick Cauchi. The switch to Franklin Kobe, who has fresh legs, is on. He slipped at the pivotal moment. Marayong is celebrating it like a goal on the sidelines. It's almost comical. The home pitch has come to the undoing of Doonside in their own counter-attack. Afori was slowing down play there. He should probably be cautioned for that. He's not going to. Ball delivered again. Kyle Dominici, who threatened the long shot again. Alessi now stabbed back towards Dominici. Howarth, who's somehow still going. Clipped in. Great looking ball. Konate was there. So was Walreese. There is Afori. Away it goes. Lovely work by Afori. He read that so well. And then he goes down on the challenge. Does he win a free kick? He does. Just about. Kane Finlay decided. Some of the results from around the grounds. Oakville confirms St. Pat's rather disappointing season with a 3-1 victory, which is pretty much confirms that they are one of the hot shots going into the finals. Polonia already promoted, beat Park Lee, who are also going to miss out on finals. Pons 9-1 juniors, as you already know. A strange result there where Fardod Sanjakani won the Golden Boot with 8 goals on the day, which is just so strange to think about, but also so impressive. He must have gone demon mode. The most contentious thing in football, it is the throw-in, which goes the way of Doonside on this occasion. Just on the halfway line, Kyle Dominici finds Alessi. Franklin Kobe now. Alessi had to stretch too far for that one. Michael Cody got involved with Kobe there. Mubarak Saeed slid, missed, hurt himself. Not a bad defender, Mubarak Saeed, although he's feeling the scrape along the outer thigh that time. He's got a throw-in to take now, which he will. Great turn by Afori, but it was taken off him. And now they've got some space to move into. This is dangerous. Doonside looking very good. Pot shot at goal. Over. Maybe it should have been crossed by Icon. Ronan Brahoni gets his first touch of the night from the sidelines. Never forget when his involvement in the 2022 Grand Final winning goal, which found Aiken, which found Alessi, which found the back of the net. Ooh, shocking goal kick out. Doonside pounce on it as quick as they possibly can, given away Couchy. Past Cody. Great touch, Jake Taylor. He's been brilliant tonight. Funneling forward, Maury Konate wants to take it on himself. Long shot City from Doonside. It's not working. Goal kick. Just over 10 to go. And in other news as well, Bulldogs 6, Dragons 0. Best news of the night so far. Chance for Doonside here. Dominici, don't hit it, son. Find your options. Well, the options have kind of had to stagnate their runs a little bit. Rivaldo trying to do the defending work here. It's a tussle for the ball right on the touchline. This has got a bit of feeling in this game now. It is heating up towards the end of the game, as we anticipated. 10 to go. Taken away by Michael Cody, who's got very fresh legs. Great touch, Michael Cody. Perhaps to seal the minor premiership. Squares it to his captain. Shocking pass. Can he rekindle the flame here, perhaps? Tries to get around his opposite captain. He can't. Great stuff, Jaden Zwerb. Cody did so well until he didn't. Rivaldo with the throw-in. Cleared away before it became a corner. Ryan Colborne hasn't scored this season. Lovely touch there by White, who had to be careful because he has been cautioned, but now there's some space in that right-back slot where he isn't. He can't afford to foul his man or he'll miss next week. Mubarak Saeed stepped in, although it's going to be a corner. So let's see, does Liam Howarth take this one or does he not? It'll be an outswinger for the left footer if it is to be. He's not running across. It's Jordan Hannon who's going to take it. Ball very deep towards the back stick. It's going to bounce once before finding Kobe. Kyle Dominici with his left foot tried to dink it in, flicked on there by Jaden Zwerb. There was Whitey to step in this time now. In fact, Kobe, forgive me. Sends it towards Aiken, who might it fall to Alessi. Tried to dink it over his man. Defending well and bravely was Holoka. Cleared away by Captain Chakal. Howarth, great touch out of the sky. Tussling for it with Rivaldo. These two have been in the wars all day. Invigorated by the crowd cheering him on was Liam Howarth. Terrible pass given away, and it's been cleared away. It's backs against the wall staff for Marayong now, who are just looking to see this out now. They have got a 2-goal cushion, if you like. Clearest foul of the night. Rivaldo receives a yellow card. Zwerb. Millionth set piece of the night. Hit, hope for the best. Was there a foul? Not given. Cleared away Whitey. Handball was the shout. No one else shouted it over besides the Doonside captain. Afori, lucky touch. Kyle Dominici, well done to find Alessi out wide. Actually, it's Howarth, forgive me. This now is Alessi in the number 8 jersey. Kobe up the touchline. Inside was Howarth. Got past Ryan Colborne. What about the player of the year? Did he foul him? Doesn't matter, throw in. Alessi takes. Konate finally messed up his back-to-goal routine. It was read well by Josh Ross. Was there a little flick out there, Afori in hard? Sees it out, throw in. Some might say handball. Ball was out. Come here to Ryan Colborne. Has to be quick with it. Was there a handball there? There's space to drive into. It's Jake Taylor. It's been spilled and then it's been claimed. Kelvin is the one being yelled at now by his teammates for not releasing it fast enough. And then when he did release it, for releasing it to the wrong person. You can't win. What a touch out of the sky, but that was a little haphazard. Colborne, now his turn to try and pick it out from the stars. Konate. Kobe now running down the left-hand side. Left-footed delivery required. He cuts back onto his right. It's curling in towards goal. Ethan Eichen, no! They have not been shy of chances tonight. Even the car alarm disapproves. Well, as Doonside get closer and closer to an equalising goal, Marayong get closer and closer to a minor premiership being sealed. Maury Konate has a bit of space. Stepping in was Josh Ross, who's had a fine game. Dominici now in tight on Holoka. This has really opened up in the last couple of minutes. Kobe in. There's Wal Reese. There's Mervyn Chakal. And there is so much time and space. But he's played it a bit slowly. Can he try and find Kelvin Ofori? Can he try and find Revelda? He does, but there are some Doonside jerseys back now. That chance is gone. But maybe that's what they want. Slow down a bit of time. Revelda saying slow it down. Aaron White saying hurry it up. White plays it to Ofori. Wins it back. Does White. Pumped forward. Great reverse pass to Reveldo. Across the face of goal. Second stab at the cherry here. Is he going to be able to get it across the face of goal? He's not. He's going to try and hold it in the corner. Can he bounce it off someone in a maroon jersey? Down he goes! No, straight away, said Kane Finlay. Reveldo can't believe it. Marayong supporters can't believe it. No one can quite believe it. What I can believe is Doonside's on a counter-attack. Can Kobe look up and find Eichen? He can't. He was in so much free space, he could have bought land. Oh, Eichen was in so much space. Brilliant refereeing by Kane Finlay. Just put his foot on the situation straight away. Foul. No. An unintentional clip of the heels on Howarth, who's now got to get back and defend. Now it's Howarth's turn to do a bit of damage, and he's been called up, and he's unhappy because he feels like he should have been reprimanded with a foul just moments ago. He's now given away a foul and given away a yellow card. It's his first yellow card in 3 years of being a Doonside player, and it's come in the minor premiership game. Unbelievable time to get your first. Kelvin Ofori with his typical stance. Delivered towards the back stick. Michael Cody was there. Handball was the call. Marayong fans just doing it for the sake of doing it. They are now minutes away from celebrating a minor premiership. Doonside need 2 goals, but they don't have the ball in the opposing half right now. Doonside have not been able to beat Marayong since the round 18 game of 2022. Marayong have won what's about to be, it seems, on 3 occasions, drawn once. Oh, intercepted by White. Oh, and again, the ball to Chakal. Chakal just had such an unlucky time when it comes to the final ball to him. This ball's been played straight away, and Michael Cody was free, and Mervyn Chakal wasn't allowed to play it. And he is feeling upset and sorry for himself. But at the end of the day, Chakal's about to be the one whose 5th-minute goal won the game. In the end, it's actually a free kick for Doonside for the shoulder-to-shoulder, which Chakal went in too heavy on. Close to being into added-on time. Up and away by Mubarak Saeed. No foul there. Kelvin Ofori stood his ground. It's going to be really painful, though. What's happening now? Chakal is some choice words being used between the attackers of Doonside and the defenders of Marayong. Marayong soon to be crowned the best team over 18 grueling rounds of football. None more so than the damage that's been done tonight. There are players who are going to be real sore after the last couple of weeks of Wednesday, Saturday catch-up games. It's Hail Mary now for Doonside if they want any chance of finishing first. Here is Kyle Dominici trying to reignite the flame. Sub's about to be made. Looks like Aaron Trevathan's going to come on. It'll probably be Chakal who comes off. Captain's armband delivered from Chakal to Kelvin Afori to see out the last minutes of the game and get some more into the minutes of the legs of Aaron Trevathan, who has a match of the round assist to his name. Has a goal of the week winner's medal around his neck for an unmistakably brilliant halfway line goal at Laboured against Workers last season. Couple of minutes left to go in this one. Doonside still need to. Konate was in hard on White there. Zerb's just going to have to send this forward. Trevathan was the one who closed him down. Aiken was beaten to it by Mubarak Saeed. Delivered in. Cleared away by Colborne, who's escaped a yellow card this game despite having 6 fouls to his name. And Casemiro of the Yong. Thrown in to the mixer. Aiken has chance to shoot on his left. Now onto his right. He's laid it off. Chance missed. Again, and again. Kenny Rogers is not happy with the defending of his teammates there. And he gives him a little yell. They're going to go to their subs bench again. Rivaldo's going to come off, it seems. I think Nazir Komi will be the one who comes on. Rivaldo being told to go off the shortest route possible. Being told to hurry up too. Good catch too. Trevathan, did he palm into the face there of Jaden Zwerb? He did. You won't feel that, Jaden Zwerb. He's made a medal. No, it's hit and hope. Hail Mary hours now for Doonside. They need 2 goals and they need it quickly. In it goes. Aiken's going to rise again. Not really his game. Handball was called. I don't think he can really call a handball there. Trevathan's got fresh legs and he's quick too, but so is Jaden Zwerb, and he has no stamina issues. Trevathan is capable of brilliance. Feeds it through. Michael Cody to seal it. Just had that touch taken off him. Doonside survive another moment. Howarth is going to slide to keep this in. Somehow quick enough to do it without the eccentrics. Walrus onto his left, he clears it away. He was hacked into there. He goes down in a heap. And he wins the free kick. Walrus unhappy with how Konate kicked out at him. He tried to get up to confront him there and decided he was in too much pain to continue the onslaught. Back to his feet now. His first red card in 3 years, did Walrus this season. Hope the surround sound's on. That'll do it. Marayong do something that's never been done before, and it might never ever be done again. 3-peaters, 2 years in a row, 21s, reserve grade and first grade. Champions, first place in all 3 with grand finals to come. Last year they secured it with 2 championship wins as well. It was only the reserve grade that eluded them. They have come to a ground where they have struggled in years gone by, particularly late in the season, and they have won. They've done it with a 3-quarter makeshift backline. They've done it while numbers were down. They've done it with backs against the wall, and it was a 5th-minute goal from Captain Merv Chakal, their inspired leader, who came into the starting lineup after a couple of years of torrid injury issues and bicycle kicked his way into Marayong folklore for not the first time in his brilliant footballing career. Battered and bruised both sides, Marayong will host and hoist the trophy once again at Harvey Park when they go and celebrate long into the night, I'm sure. But they've come to enemy territory and made it their own once again. Huge, huge applause has to go towards this Premier League outfit. The system that they run is fantastic. Let's see how all 3 grades go into the final series. It's sudden death from here, gentlemen. What a season you've had. Just the 15 goals conceded, and goal number 56 by Mervyn Chakal for the season was the one that secured the dub away from home. It's a painful one for Doonside, who have had the most unbelievable 10-game run. The 11th game, unfortunately, was the one that would decide the minor premiership, and it didn't go their way. They just didn't show enough, unfortunately, quality in the final third. Marayong had a chance. They had chances, but the one that they took was enough to separate the 2 teams. It's been a fantastic campaign from both of these 2 sides, but Marayong again setting the standard when it comes to winning minor premierships. It's something they are so very, very good at. So how does it read now as we head into the final series? Well, Marayong will get the week off and they'll play whoever loses, I do believe, whoever loses out of 2v3. The winner of 2v3 goes straight into the grand final. Actually, that doesn't make sense. Hang on, let me try and get my bearings right. It's something that I haven't actually crossed over in my last couple of days since returning from overseas. But Marayong will go into sudden death. They'll have the week off, though. 2 will face 3, 4 will face 5. It's sudden death for both. And for Doonside, it's going to feel like what could have been. What if they had have taken some of those headed chances in the first half? What if Ethan Eichen had have hit the back of the net with his header in the second half? Either way, lots to be proud of. For the Ponds, well, they're able to come here tonight knowing that they have the Golden Boot player in their ranks, fit, firing and fast, ready to go into the finals part of the season. They've gotten to do a scouting report here tonight. But to those of you who joined, to the many hundreds who have joined on both Facebook and YouTube, a big thank you to you guys for tuning in, and thank you for making a wonderful season once again. We'll let you know which 2 teams are going to be on the live stream next week, and I hope you're here joining once again. My name is Mark DePoli. Thanks so much for joining us here on this cold Saturday, August evening, and we'll see you soon for finals time, baby. But until then, good night.